What's up, family? It's Caden with Urban Finance. This particular video really broke my heart. This news story kind of my heart a little when I first saw it. We try to build economic power. We try to better ourselves in life. We try to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap, like some people would like us to do. And no matter what happens, we always find ourselves in a position like this. So I'm going to play this video. As you come on to the live chat, just let me know. Just drop something in the comment section. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to hit that like button. So let's watch this video together, and then I'll talk about the story. I'll also go through the news article.
That I had to go through all of that just to say that I was right, and that this was happening, this was real. And it just is so upsetting because you have the data that says this is what happens. You have it, but it's not until it happens to a person that somebody knows that they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. How can you not believe it? The data said it was real. The data said it was happening. But it's just being able to prove it is the hard part. And so I just felt blessed that I had the ability, the financial ability to go through all of this.
Opportunity to help yourself by not helping them.
So yeah, when I first saw this, it really broke my heart because there's another part of the news article that I'm going to show you guys that I was just really taken back at and kind of upset about, but it's the reality. And it's when she talked about the fact that when she told her family about it, her family didn't even believe it, which is crazy to me as a Black person living in America, that you would not believe that there is still racism in the housing system. So she says, I had a lot of pushback from my family, from friends, and from friends in the real estate who were like, maybe that's just the value of your home. You know, maybe you're wrong. That there's nothing nefarious occurring. And so and we'll go back to the start of the story. So essentially, Charlotte was given an appraisal for about 125 and a second appraisal for $110,000 respectively. And then she had a white male friend sitting for the appraisal. She contacted the appraisal agent completely remotely so that he wouldn't know her race or ethnicity. She removed every aspect of her identity from the place so that the appraisal agents will think that this was this white man's home. And her appraisal ended up coming in at $259,000, twice the original value. Now, this is absolutely crazy to think that you can double the value of your home by just being white. And like I said, for me, the first part that really took me back is that she had family members that questioned her when she said, I think that they're appraising my home low because of the color of my skin, because I'm a Black woman. The fact that her family members and her close friends would think to themselves that somehow racism does not play a role still in the housing system, to me, it's crazy. When you can do a Google search and see what is happening out there, to see that her story is like everyone else's, that there are a ton of other Black people that are going through the same thing that she is currently experiencing. And so for me, that was the first thing that really took me back, that really we still do not believe that this thing is happening in our society. And so I'll read part of the story here. And now she wants justice along with the Fair Housing Center for Central Indiana. And I'll say this, the average person probably wouldn't have the time or the knowledge necessarily to even pursue this legally. Thankfully, like she said at the end of the video, that she's going to pursue this legally and probably try to sue. But most people wouldn't be able to do that. Most people would end up probably selling their home at half the value of what that home is actually worth. Now, one of the things she said in the news article as well is that she wanted to buy her grandmother a house. She wanted to use the equity from her home to purchase her grandmother's home. And so this is how generational wealth is building. And this is where we see that there's a significant difference between generational wealth between Black people and white people. And one of the reasons is that Black homes are valued at such a reduced level. And I have, let's see what Mecca commented on the screen. So I'm going to pull up some of the comments. Let me actually show the comments. I had my realtor stand in for my house sales back in 2006. This has been going on for longer than people realize. And yes, this has been going on for a very, very long time. I could even pull up a video that I did about white flight. And one of the main focus on the video that I did about white flight was the reality that communities of color are significantly undervalued. We'll have this one statistic that was also talked about in the article. And so let me see if I can pull it up for you guys right now. But essentially, it was saying that when realtors come into Black communities and are doing these appraisals in Black homes, they see twice the crime. They see twice, they see the school system, no matter what, if it's a good school system, they see it as a worse school system than it actually is. And so all of these things, the perception, the bias, all of these things go into the appraisal for the house. And so, yes, on one side, we get hit financially by having our homes worth twice as less. We get hit financially because after the appraisal, if let's say she had mortgage insurance on her home, she can get that removed by getting the home appraised higher. Another thing that a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of times, most people, since they're taking out a loan from the bank, they cannot buy your home for higher usually than what the bank is able to pay for it. And so this story got me really, really upset because we see the systemic inequalities in our system just showing up again and again. But it's so hard to prove. And if we go, let me pull the article back up to the very end of the article. I'm going to read the very end of the article because it is a very, very long article. In the following months, Duffy said she told friends and family members about her ordeal and her suspicions that racism played a role in her two appraisal. I had a lot of pushback from family, from friends in the real estate who were like, maybe that's just the value of your home. You know, maybe you're wrong, that there's nothing nefarious occurring. This is just how things are. But none of those arguments convinced me that I was wrong. I felt like, no, something else is happening here that we're just not seeing. Duffy couldn't let go, nor could she not be bothered by what happened. It wasn't just the appraisal that sounded the alarm for Duffy. During the process, Duffy said she had been quoted interest rates of 4, 3.7, and 5%. By comparison, Duffy said the interest rate on her current mortgage loan was 3.4%. And we all know how low interest rates were at this time. And so from every angle, Black homeowners are getting it. So I staged my home to look ethnically neutral as possible. And it's sad that Black people have to go through this type of thing, staging that their home is not their home, staging that, denying their identity to some degree in order to fit in a white society. And so it's just another example for me how inequities play in every aspect of our system. And as a Black person, I will say, if someone says they believe that racism plays a role in whatever situation that they're in, I would say believe them. Because I always characterize not believing a victim of racism similar to not believing a victim of rape. And I know that may be controversial for some people, but it's the same thing. People are quick to try to say, "Oh, race is not a factor," when you know for sure that race is a factor. So I'm going to end this here. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you everyone that are probably going to watch this live as a later time. Feel free to smash the like button, like I always say. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, follow the page. But this is very, very sad, and it's very, very disheartening. I pray that you guys enjoy your Saturday. Bye-bye.